Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's episode of the Daily Dose. Today is Tuesday, August 9th, and we saw the markets go a little bit lower today ahead of the CPI inflation numbers that are coming out tomorrow. Really, the headline today was NVIDIA and some other tech companies, or some other chip companies, rather, gave warnings in their forecast for the near future, kind of sending those stocks and tech stocks a little bit lower. Also, high inflation is bad for tech stocks as well, so tech just went down the most today. The NASDAQ was down over 1%, the S&P was down a little under 0.5%, and the Dow was down 0.16%, so we saw the tech shares really get punished today. Micron was the newest chip company to give a bad outlook, and they fell 3.7%. I think in the short term, the chip companies might be facing a little bit of headwinds, but obviously in the long run, that's all of technology. Anything that has a battery needs a microchip, essentially. So, the long-term outlook for these companies are still okay. And that includes NVIDIA, which was down a lot after they indicated its second quarter revenue would drop by 19%. They had a really tough earnings report yesterday. So obviously the headline is the CPI number tomorrow. That's really going to determine what the Fed's going to do, which was going to determine what the market's going to do. Today the market opened lower and then was kind of flat after selling off. There's really nothing for the market to do until these numbers come out because we've been in this downward trend because of what the Fed has done. They pivoted from an easy money policy to a tightening environment. So that's why we've seen this halt of the bull market and valuations kind of come back to earth a little bit. And this rally since June was really based off of a Fed pivot that inflation had peaked. So if we see signs tomorrow that inflation hasn't peaked, I would expect the markets to come back down. So obviously tomorrow's a really big day, and we've not had any luck getting through this zone whatsoever during this bear market. So a breach through this zone would be massive, but I just don't foresee it unless we really get surprised with the inflation number tomorrow. So Bitcoin, a little bit frustrating that Bitcoin kind of just trades with the NASDAQ. It literally just kind of trades like a leveraged NASDAQ at this point. Even though Bitcoin technically should be showing strength, we've said all along that it's been doing well, especially the past couple days. But if the NASDAQ starts to sell off, we just expect this to sell off, and that's exactly what happened. So Bitcoin's sitting slightly above 23,000 now. And that just goes to show that people don't really know how to trade Bitcoin, because fundamentally the value of Bitcoin shouldn't even be correlated to the value of the NASDAQ whatsoever. They're two completely different assets, but people don't really understand that yet. So, that just goes to show how early it still is in this space, that it trades with an indice. Bitcoin's its own asset. It should be trading based off of its own uncorrelated patterns that have nothing to do with the NASDAQ, but people just see it as leverage technology, really. So NASDAQ goes up a little bit, Bitcoin will go up more. NASDAQ goes down a little bit, Bitcoin will go down more. That's exactly what we expected at this point. So nothing really too exciting for today. Obviously tomorrow will be a huge day, so be sure to join us. I'm sure I'll have a lot to say tomorrow. That number comes out in the morning, so we'll have a big move, in my opinion, tomorrow, either up or down. So that'll be interesting. Be sure to stay tuned for that one. And as always, thank you for joining us.